Hey guys and gals, this is Alex Olson with the KC Multifamily Minute. Today is Monday, March 3rd, 2025 here in Kansas City. And let's get right into some good looking stats. Okay, so as we do every single week, we talk about some statistics here. So what do we got? So what's new on the market? What's coming on the market? How many opportunities are there? How many are under contract? That's a little bit what we talk about every single week here in Kansas City for multifamily. So first up, let's talk about the MLS. So the MLS is actually a very powerful listing tool here in the Kansas City metro for multifamily properties. Almost everything hits that open market if someone's going to put it on market. And right now, I filter these out so that way we don't have anything that's 2020 or newer. So we're not really talking about new construction, because those are a little bit different animal there. But if you exclude those, there's 44 total listings out there. 29 are available and 15 are under contract. So that's pretty consistent, although on the low side. Somewhere around 20 are usually under contract. Somewhere around 50 are usually out there listed. But that gives you 29 that you can go after, get out there and buy. That's $500,000 plus here in Kansas City. There's actually 2 new listings in the last week, both in Class A locations that we'll talk about here on the MLS. Now, when we switch over to the LoopNet CoStar side, for podcast listeners, I've clicked over to LoopNet here. As you can see, this is also filtered down to the last 7 days of new listings. There's nothing new. Nothing new is on the market here on the LoopNet side of the world. I think that's going to change here in a little bit. Hint, hint, because I have some listings of my own. But I just wanted to throw that out there so you guys can see that the activity, in my opinion, is a little bit lighter, definitely lighter than what I like. I want to see a lot of new listings hitting the market. I want to see a lot of quality listings and quality locations. So we're not quite there yet. Not saying we're going to get there, but that's where we're at right now. But over here on LoopNet, there are 31 listings. 26 are still available. 5 are pending. We did a comparison several weeks ago about the number of properties that were on and off market, on LoopNet versus the MLS, and they were similar. But once you get above that $5 million, $3 million price tag, you see some more on LoopNet that you don't see on the MLS. And of course, on the MLS, you're going to see a lot more listings across the price points, really up to $5 million. Then you get into more of the commercial national brokers that either don't put it on the market or they only put it on LoopNet because they actually don't have an MLS license. Or it's not a license, but an MLS access to be a true realtor, as they call it. So that's something to consider when you're looking at deals here in the Kansas City market. So I don't want to take up too much more of your time. So let's get right into what we've got here, new listings. So first up, podcast listeners, we've got 2 new listings, as we talked about. They're on the MLS. I got my website, legendaryapartmentbrokers.com, pulled up here and looking at all listings. And we zoom in here, and first up is one for $725,000 in Riverside. It's an 8-plex. Very familiar with this property, I believe. I'm not 100% because I didn't go in there and cross-reference triple times. But this was on the market last year. I think what they've done here is they've completed one of the buildings now, fully renovated, has new mini splits in there for central heating and cooling. It's in Riverside for $725,000. Depending on what rents are there, I do like this location, but I do want to warn you when you drive by, it doesn't look anything sexy, it doesn't look fancy. So that's something to consider when you're out there at this property. I can definitely help you with it. We can take a look at it. We can take it down and see what you think. But it has been on and off market over time. So that's something you need to consider when you are looking at it. It's got a new agent on it, so we'll see how that plays out. But that's kind of where that property sits. I believe there's 2 other buildings that you could take out, so that'd be 24 units. If you did the math on it, 725 times 2 is going to be 1450, so 1.45 million. Then you add another 7, so you're basically somewhere around $2 million for 24 units there. I think you can get it for less, just my opinion, based on my experience. So reach out, we can dive into that together and see if that's a good opportunity for you there. Okay. The other one I'm proud to say is actually my listing at 4651 Northeast Antioch Road, also in North Kansas City area, really kind of Gladstone, just south of Gladstone. Gladstone is actually a very small town in North Kansas City, but it's all part of that North Kansas City Gladstone School District area. These have, since it's my listing, I don't know a lot about it. There's actually 26 units for $1.85 million, a little over $71,000 per unit. It's right at the intersection for podcast listeners of 35 and North Antioch Road. Backs up to a park. It's got 21 bedroom apartments, 5 studios, and 1 2-bedroom, 1 bath across 2 different buildings. There's pros and cons to this building. Don't get me wrong. They got flat roofs. I think the the units themselves would need some upgrades to hit the market rents. But I've got off-market deal that's just down the street. That on their units they're getting well over $1,000 for their 2 bedrooms. Without even really batting an eye. Now, of course, those are pretty nice, have washer and dryer inside, but they're not like, oh my gosh, top of the market granite countertops. So my point is you put in some work into this thing and you've got a really nice asset. I have it projected out, the seller has it projected out to be dang near a 9% cap rate. If you do the work to it, clean it up, maybe do new management in there, you get the expenses right. It does have a boiler in the one of the buildings. The other building has central heating and cooling. So there's an opportunity there to also increase and improve the tenant base. It's even on 2 different parcels, so you could sell one building and keep the other if you really wanted to, because they're parceled out kind of nicely, so you could have parking for one and maintain parking for the other, depending on what you want to do. And it backs up to a park, so you should have zero issue ever keeping this thing occupied if you stay on it and clean up the exterior and make the units nice. So that's my opinion on that one. It's a great building, great buy. I think it will sell relatively quickly. So looking forward to getting your feedback on that one here in Kansas City. Next week, we'll cover the statistics for February and year to date on how multifamily sales are going in the $500,000 plus range across the Kansas City metro compared to last year. I'm curious to see that myself. So anyway, this is Alex Olson. You want to talk about any of these deals, anything related to multifamily in Kansas City, please do reach out. Email me, alex@legendaryapartmentbrokers.com. We'll talk soon.